Hey, what's up here? Marjake79 here. We are back again with another video game action figure review. Today we are taking a look at the Banjo-Kazooie DNA action figure, the furred kind. I'm very excited to get this figure in. We got it from Big Bad Toy Store. I tell you what, this figure came out last year. However, it just recently went on clearance. We only paid $44 for it. It was regularly about $85.90. So I didn't want to pay that much. So I figured I'd play the patient game, the wait game. And we waited, and we waited, and we waited, and we waited. And as soon as I saw it on Big Bad Toys for $44, jumped on it, and I went on ahead and brought it in to add it to the collection. So take a look at the box here. Got the front side here is a jiggy. I'm very excited about that. It's very cool. Spin it to the other side of this little sleeve here. We just have the Banjo-Kazooie logo. It's very cool as well. Spin it to the side here. We have a cool look of Banjo. Spin it to the other side. We have a cool look of Kazooie. Now, once we slide it off here, get an actual look. Oh, there it is. Nice. Okay, look at the actual figure here inside of the package. You got the Banjo-Kazooie logo, got the jiggy on the left-hand side there, premium DNA, 14+. The actual figure itself looks like it comes with an extra face sculpt. Got the bottom Kazooie body, two hands there, a banjo. Very nice. Looks like we have Banjo-Kazooie together on this side paneling. Same thing on this side, just a different pose. Kind of shows you everything it comes with, the logo, figure itself, Kazooie's legs, the jiggy, the backpack, smiling banjo face, and a banjo. And that looks like a Kazooie comes with a Kazooie. So very nice, man. Okay, let's go ahead, let's crack this baby open, and let's really get started here. And we're back, man, and now we have our Banjo and Kazooie out of the package. And look at this, man. This is a very attractive package. Look at that. Look at this figure. The aesthetics of it is absolutely beautiful. Very, very pleasing. Reds are really popping. I really like the fur effect. I was trying to decide between the fur effect and the hard plastic. Really happy I went with the fur effect. I feel like that represents Bando's character a lot better. He is a bear. Shorts come out good. Hands to the paws, feet. Kazooie's bottom half. The Kazooie, this is the function that you add onto the backpack if you don't want Kazooie on the back. Have a jiggy, an extra head sculpt for Banjo, the banjo itself, and some extra hands. Look at the eyes on that. I really like the detail on the banjo as well. Comes out good. So that to the back there. Is anything in the back of there? Nope, not really. Kazooie around. Look at that. Very nice. The jiggy. Gotta have those jiggies, man. They're like power stars from Super Mario. Spin it to the side here. For 44 bucks, you cannot beat that. I'm kind of happy I didn't pay the full price for this, which was like, I was seeing this go for as high as 100 bucks at one point. I'm definitely happy I didn't pay that. But for $44, yeah, this is a steal. I absolutely recommend that just for the aesthetics alone. Definitely the biggest draw that most people are having with it are the size comparisons. And if you put a Mario or a Sonic compared to it, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, he just dwarfs. This is a 4-inch Mario. This Banjo is huge. And then even if you take a Marvel Legends Iron Man, this is a 6-inch. I mean, he stands at about 7-8 feet tall, I want to say. But with the Kazooie, he's about almost 10 feet tall. So it's definitely the biggest drawback. He's definitely not fitting in any display or Smash Brothers display. There's just no way. But as a standalone figure, if you just love the Banjo-Kazooie franchise, it's a no-brainer. This is easily the best Banjo-Kazooie action figure I've ever seen. So, okay, let's go ahead. Let's run through his articulation here. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to separate the Kazooie from the backpack here. So let's do that. We'll separate that, and then we'll take this little top piece here, and then we'll put that on top of here. Then we'll do the articulation for Banjo and Kazooie separately. So take this little function to close up the backpack here. And I guess before we do that, let's take Kazooie here and put him on and get that going there. So tell you what, let's start out with Kazooie. Got the head function here. Rotate that 360 degrees. This is on kind of a ball peg. so it can kind of be rotated a bit as well. So that comes out good. Got the wing function here. This can be flapped up and down. Just be careful with that. Feels a little bit fragile, if I'm being honest. So, you know, don't be too rough with them. And the legs here, kick forward, and be careful with this little mid function here so you don't separate it by accident. No articulation in the tail. And the legs can be kicked outwards. And keep in mind that this is regularly like $100, man, but I only paid $44 for it. It just definitely needs to be mentioned for sake of the review. I'll take the Kazooie here, and just simply, if you want to plug that in, there is a hole inside of her mouth. And just stick that function in there if you wanted to do that. Pretty simple. It's pretty cool, man. Stand up is a bit of a chore. All right. There we go. So if you want her to stand up correctly, you kind of have to lean her upwards a bit to get her to stand up properly. So you know, keep that in mind. Still, even just moving her around, this seems a bit wonky. So just keep that in mind. If you want to pose Kazooie by herself, you need to pose the figure in an upwards motion to get her to stand properly. Now for Banjo here, rotate the head 360 degrees. And if you want to pop that off and put on the other head, simply just pull that apart. Careful of the necklace there. Sheesh. Stick that back on and just stick that back on there like such. Like that. Now, I don't think this backpack comes off. I mean, it's pretty loose. You could probably take it off if you wanted to, but yeah, you can take it off. It actually comes with a little strap so you can take off and pops right off. So, but we're gonna keep ours on for now though, for the articulation purposes. So let's rotate the arm. This is tight. This is super tight. So let's be careful with that. And take this arm. Oh my God, dude, it doesn't even want to move. It doesn't even want to move, dude. Let's rotate. I don't even want to rotate it. I feel like I'm gonna break it. So push it up, push it backwards. I'm sure it can, but this is super tight. There we go. I'll take that arm 360 degrees. See if this arm is a little easier. Not really. It's probably one of the tightest figures I've ever reviewed. You really gotta rotate to kind of force that articulation out of this guy. Keep in mind, $100, man. This is not a cheap piece of chains, and I'm trying to treat it as such. I'm not gonna force that articulation on this arm here. Just what you get, is what you see, is what you get. You can push it up, you can push it backwards, but I'm not forcing that to rotate 360 degrees. As you can see, I'm putting a lot of force into that. It is not rotating. So then as I'm doing that, I'm already like ripping the fabric of the fur effect as well. So torso can be rotated 360 degrees. Can be pushed forward, pushed backwards. See a little bit of a back crunch. Side. Oh my God, move out of the way there. To side. There you go. Side to side. Side to side. Do a little dance there. So that's on a bob peg as well. Careful so you don't scratch up your paint. Leg. Kick forward. Can I kick forward? Kind of. Not really. You hear that? That's snug, man. The ball pegs are tight. Kick forward at all for the hip. No, not really. Knee joint. You do get a decent little knee joint there. That could be kicked backwards, kick back forward, an ankle. Ooh, tight. Down, up, rotate to the left and to the right. Very snug on the articulation there. Down, up, same thing. The other leg, rotate that 360 degrees if you want. Yeah. Okay. So, get a look at the closeness of the other head sculpt here. It just him standing stoic, honestly. Nothing too crazy. Do you either want him smiling with his teeth or just a normal smile? It's really all it is. Okay, so for a pose, if you want him to hold the banjo, you kind of have to position the banjo against his body here, but don't move him though. Don't move him because he will just drop him. There's not a function that comes with one of the hands where you can stick the banjo to the hand. You just have to position it against his body and, you know, kind of angle it on his other hand there, and then he'll hold on to it, kind of. As soon as you move him though, Yeah. See what I'm saying? I know the same thing with the Jiggy here as well. He can like kind of hold on to it if you position it against his arm, just kind of like lean it since it's so big. But, you know, in doing that, you can kind of tell that there's no really proper way to, you know, position the Jiggy where he's actually holding on to it. So you just, you know, kind of flub it a little bit and lean it up against there. Like I said, as soon as you breathe on it, he's just gonna drop it. So if you want to switch out the hand, it's pretty simple enough. Just we'll give it a little give, a little force, it'll pop right out. Take your other hand there, just pop that right in. Simple, you know, nothing too crazy about that, honestly. It's just an open palm. Maybe if you want to have him in like a running motion of the sort, just have him maybe that kind of action going on there. Yeah. Comes out good, man. I really am enjoying this figure. It's definitely not perfect, but, you know, I was a mega Banjo-Kazooie fan back in the 90s with the Nintendo 64, so being able to get an action figure like this definitely is a dream come true, for sure. Like I mentioned before, that you can take off the backpack if you were to so choose, but if you want to stick it back on, just take note of the peg on the back of the figure here, and this peg here. Simply just snap that back in place. It's a pain in the butt. It is, but you know, I was never a fan of these backpack mechanics, sheaths and swords and all that crap, but it works. There you go. See, it's not perfect, but you see what I'm trying to do here. So it works if you just finagle it a bit. Just be careful so that you don't break it. Also, take note of the paint chips that are literally just flaking off this guy when I'm switching off of the hands and finagling around with the fur. He's kind of shedding like crazy. So it's definitely something worth noting as well. Just a little small note. The fur on kind of the stoic smile kind of got a weird white pattern. This ear there kind of has a weird, you know, thing going on there as well. Let's check on that side there. I mean, paint was decent. There's definitely just something worth noting for sure. I think my necklace is upside down. I need to fix that as well. It's decent, man. It looks good. Definitely not perfect, but just, it looks good. It does. Okay, I think we have our final pose of what our Banjo is going to look like when he hits the shelf, man. I'm very satisfied with that. We went with the stoic smile, went with Kazooie, holding onto her Kazooie. Tell you what, it was a pain in the butt getting the Kazooie, not necessarily back onto the pack, but strapping the backpack back onto, as you can see, I mean, it's already loose again. So definitely having that backpack strapped to his back is a chore for sure. Took the Banjo, just leaned it up against him. But I'm ultimately happy with what I got here. For 44 bucks, I still feel like this is a steal. I think if I had paid the full $100 for it, I would have been way more critical. But, you know, waiting for it to go clearance on Big Bad Toy Store, you know, I feel like it was this is a no-brainer purchase. I mean, I've been a fan of this franchise for almost 3 decades. So, you know, that works out for me. So, one more little treat for everybody. It was kind of my Banjo-Kazooie collection throughout the years. This is the first Banjo figure I got, the Kotaku figurine. Cool. Got this from, I think, GameStop like a decade ago. Pretty cool start. And then we got the Banjo-Kazooie amiibo. That was fantastic. I'll never forget the excitement that I had when we found out that he was going to be entering the Smash Brothers fray. And then we conclude our Banjo-Kazooie collection with the premium DNA. So very nice. Unless they come out with a Banjo-Kazooie figure that actually fits into a Smash Brothers display, but maybe like a 4 to 6 incher. Then we'll go from there. But you know what we got here is very, very cool and very, very fascinating, man. Yeah, it's so cool once you've been a fan of a gaming franchise for over 30 years and they finally give you a decent action figure to add to your collection. So I did notice one thing though, that the amiibo and the Kotaku figures have the rare symbol, but the premium DNA does not have the rare symbol on the back of the backpack. No, just a little random tidbit that I noticed that I figured I'd point out. Though marketing, gotta love it. Okay, man, that is going to do it for this one. So let's go ahead and let's move all this stuff back to the museum, and we will begin to finish out here. All right, my friends, and now we have added our Banjo-Kazooie onto the shelf, and look at that. That comes out spectacular. Look at that, man. Put them on to the top of the main shelf. Kind of back up, give you the scope here. He's next to Elizabeth and Booker DeWitt and the Ghost of Tsushima. Gotta love that. We did move our 2B statue down here. I still need to get the SH Figure Arts 2B. It might be next, man. You never know. But very, very happy with my purchase of this Banjo-Kazooie. It came out great. 44 bucks. You cannot beat that, even with its over-exaggerated scale. Again, I would love to get a Banjo that kind of fits in scale with the rest of the maybe Jack-specific Mario figures. maybe the SH Figure Arts 6-inch figures to, make a Smash Brothers display. But for my shelf right now, just looking at it from a grand scope, the Mario figures in the corner there, the Sonic figures, Metroid, Star Fox. Now we have an official Banjo-Kazooie figure up top there. That makes me smile. It really does. And of course, I'm sure you noticed my Nintendo 64 Banjo-Kazooie all the way back from my childhood. Got the Jiggy going on there, got the banjo in the back, Kazooie with his Kazooie there. I love it. Makes me smile. Reminds me of a simpler time, reminds me of my childhood. That's exactly why I do this, collect these artifacts. Reminds me of the 90s, the best time in existence. Okay, that is going to do it for this one, man. So if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy the Banjo-Kazooie franchise, Nintendo in general, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you got this figure in your collection, let me know what you paid for it. Did you pay the full price for it? Or maybe, this video will spare you to head to Big Bad Toys and pay that $44 for it. In my opinion, he's definitely worth that. So, okay, you can follow me at youtube.com/MarJack79. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, my friends, I will see you guys on the next one. I'll catch you guys later.